This way.
No, Your Highness. Why?
I didn't realize anyone still remained to weep over this child. Huh? Gallica! You've returned!
Milady Gruiday. It's been a long time.
May I ask who this is?
She is the chiefess of this village. The Hermitess Gruiday.
She was kind enough to shelter the entire organization when His Highness fled to these woods.
I can't believe he's gone. I'm just some parapus orphan from the slums. I was never supposed to outlive any prince. Was he killed here?
No. It all happened in the bunk room in the back. We moved him here to the altar once all was quiet. I don't know if you'd believe me, but I received a revelation. Should the prince die, his body should be kept safe and still here until a rightful day comes, even if the boy is but a bastard sired by that despicable man. He is still Her Majesty's son.
Despicable? What, you mean the king? Wait, who's Her Majesty?
Do you know nothing of the child's mother? The boy was not brought across borders to us. He was born here, in the ancient sanctum. His mother was our past chiefess, the queen of our elder tribe. She was a flower amidst the forests, a woman of such beauty, grace, and kindness. She saved this child from the flames, and it cost her her life. Her death is on that man's hands. Like a piper, he wandered in and seduced the young queen with his idealistic tales. But he failed to protect his family and died powerless. The village was only set ablaze because the boy was in the way of the Sanctus Church's designs on the throne. And that insipid king could do nothing to stop them. But you see, this boy, His Highness the Prince, looks so much like Her Majesty. And so... You there, boy. Are you perhaps... No, it can't be. And yet...
Is something amiss, Milady Gruiday? He is one of Gallica's allies. His loyalty stands with His Highness, and he has risked much in the prince's name.
Whoa! What's with the formal introduction? You were the one who gave us our orders in the first place.
Hurry.
Hey, are you okay?
The time has come. Here thou camest to the end of thy journey. This secret place was home to thee. Now, remember thy path thus far. Walk thy life's road and see it anew. I have been waiting for thee to overcome thy trials. Long have I waited for thy return. Know this, his life is not yet ended.
What do you mean?
It all started on that ill-fated day when the usurper thought to extinguish his light. Before he fades away, recount all thou hast seen and felt, all thou hast gained in thy journey's course. Gallica and thee sought to take the head of Louise, but thy efforts came to naught. So, ye moved instead to join a tournament to decide the land's king.
It came to nothing.
Though thy plan was reckless, thou didst win the trust of the people by the support of peers and subjects alike. Thus, thou didst declare thyself the prince.
It was all a mistake.
After overcoming many obstacles, thou didst finally lift the prince's curse. Yet by the cruel machinations of another, the young prince...
He lies dead before me.
Thy dream stands unfulfilled. Thou art adrift in the depths, and despair hath claimed thee. Oh, alas. I believed thee ready to realize the truth. Ready to confront thy truest trial.
The prince and the hope that rested upon him was no more. The banner they strove to raise fell to ruin. Unity forged among allies and promised to the people was a fleeting hope. The opportunity passed. Only Luis, the sworn enemy, remained to take the throne. And then, inevitably, the day came. The authority of the king's magic, along with the royal scepter, were passed into Luis's wanting hands. That was the day fantasy died. No one knows what became of the kingdom thereafter. All that is certain is that none of their names, not even those of the heroes, passed into history. All else vanished, untold.
Such a countenance. So you truly are the Prince Reborn. I must say, you and your father are cut from the same cloth. Quite unpredictable as death looms.
What of you? Is this hornless form your own true being?
I'll say this here for your own good, Luis. Hand over the royal scepter. Only the one who has earned the people's support is fit to be king. You and us. We can still end this without more bloodshed.
No path forward is bloodless. The king may have avoided it, but the people will only shed his share. That has been this country's crime for too long. Those in power exact the price of their greed from the people, then preach that such pain is a natural trial to be overcome. The indolent powers of this land have poisoned it with their lies. There is no cure but destruction.
Who's the real charlatan here? You turn people into monsters and convince them it's salvation. Even Sorba, your most loyal vassal, you twisted into a monster. You promise protection to your devoted, yet always fall short of the mark.
I have never lied. I swear upon my name, it is one of the greatest trespasses I can imagine. Have you never wondered why the king's magic is so strong for us? Or why the royal scepter can only be used by those who bear the public's favor? One royal hand clutching one bejeweled rod does not alone accomplish such wonders of magic. But what if it drew magic not from its wielder, but from the masses? That is the truth. The royal scepter is a divine relic that absorbs Magla from people across the kingdom. And thus, the royal magic's power is near inexhaustible. Such has been the royal family's tradition for centuries, generations upon generations. Do you know what this means? Magla is mortal anxiety, which means that the people of this country now have no choice but to perpetually direct their anxiety to the king, simply to stay safe.
Absurd. And how do you explain the people of the capital going mad?
It was no madness that took them. The Magla spews from their helpless hearts at a rate far greater than the scepter can absorb. Hence the stagnation. The behavior now on full display is their inborn, true nature. When they cannot control their fears, they lash out at neighbor and outsider alike. And that is mortal weakness.
That's who they really are.
In a world like this, order built on mutual understanding is but a dream within a dream. Before we achieve resolution, the people must be corrected. On the day the late king's magic fades, I will shake the royal magic anew. All the Magla gathered over these months of turmoil will be restored to the people. Those who can overcome it will be reborn as new humans. Thus, we achieve our first round of natural selection. Our first step towards a world truly fair and just.
Natural selection? New humans? What absurd delusions.
Delusions? You witnessed how the prince lost his very self to my spell, and then re-emerged with powers and will burning ever brighter.
You mean you would do to the people exactly what you did to him? You would use the royal magic to inflict such horrors on all the crown's subjects?
Those who follow me and accept the rule of power will surely survive by virtue of their own will. But if they give in to fear, yes, they will lose both form and mind. That is what it means to protect those who follow. It is not a salvation given of empty charity, but earned through the providence of power.
Then, that's your true ambition. That's why you sent Sorba to the royal funeral. You never even wanted the throne. It was all for the royal scepter.
The shows of power, terrifying the people. It wasn't just manipulation. You justified all of that.
The man would turn all people into humans. It defies all sense.
Worry not. You've proven you're more than worthy. I've little doubt you'll survive the first culling and move on to the new world. You mentioned earlier that we might still resolve this without bloodshed. Then, I put the same offer to you. Join me, Prince. Born of Elden blood, welcoming anyone regardless of tribe. It is no coincidence that you and I take inspiration from the same book.
Don't let him sway you, Your Highness.
I know you detest injustice as I do. Come with me. Let me lend you my power, and together we will change the unfair world we seek to destroy.
It's true that I hate injustice.
Wait! Hey! What's gotten into you?
Hey! Are you listening to me?
Should you deny me, then what? How would you fix this country? You must have seen it everywhere you traveled. Tradition, superstition, family honor, and all those struck down unjustly in the name of such authorities. The only cure for such suffering is a simpler world, in which strength triumphs over pain. It is not a solution without cruelty. But surely the fairness it would restore to our lives is worth any sacrifice. Come with me, and we can realize this dream. What say you?
You're absolutely right.
What? Are you serious?
There is logic in his words, but...
Please, tell me you're lying.
Is there no way left to oppose him? Is that what you believe?
How to end up like this?
Damn! What in the world is going on?
No!
A wise decision.
No! Prince! Your Highness!
At this point, what can we do but try to change our perspective? Maybe this is better than prolonging the cycle of injustice.
What are you saying? Isn't that your cue to make an impassioned plea?
It's out of our hands now. It wasn't long ago I was living alone in an empty cavern. I'll have to appreciate that this will be better than that.
I don't believe this.
No one else seems to have objections.
Wait! This is not...
Why the agitation? I did say you would all survive this. Though, considering how you falter now, perhaps some may fall short of salvation. Trivial, nonetheless. Behold, the new world dawns.
Afterwards, the nation was transformed. It became a world of humans, with both Luis and the prince taking equal hand in its creation. On the day of that world's birth, it was also thus decided. All known history of the world before would henceforth be remembered as the tale of the fallen. As for what became of the world that followed, to the humans, the question is irrelevant.
Where?
Are you awake now? I summoned you just in time. Do you remember what happened? What you've done?
I ripped out my...
I'm frankly amazed you would go to such lengths, even to fight back against the spell. If I hadn't saved you, you really would be dead. But rest assured, we're finally safe. As for where we are far, far away from that hellish world. Do you remember the first time we met? I was sure you would find a clue in your journey that might reveal where in the world this place is. So I believed anyway, but I was wrong. From the start. This place is... It was never of that world to begin with. No. Maybe there's a better way to put it. This is a place that exists between reality and fantasy. In other words, the world we've been living in is fantasy. The journey was all an illusion.
An illusion?
There's nothing but despair in that world. And it will never get better. It's an endless, painful, irredeemable hell. I'd always believed that creating a utopia was possible. And if there was desire, then I thought maybe one day someone would achieve it. But I came to realize I was mistaken. In the end, a fantasy is just that. A fantasy. But all that primordial chaos only exists in that world. The world of reality is nothing like that. Really, it's an environment you should know quite well. You've come to know so much of it already. Through text on a page. Now, behold!
Isn't this...
Indeed. It's the world I wrote accounts of in my novel. Until now, you've thought this world a mere fantasy. But it's not.
So the world I know is all an illusion. And the world of the novel is... reality?
Surely you already know. There is no deadly magic, no prejudice between its people. Now, all you have to do is admit that everything you've been through has been nothing but a story, just a fantasy. Then this can be your perfect reality. Your journey of revolution was just a passing dream. Let me take you back to reality, child.
Can you really do that?
You don't have to worry. As long as you can accept that this place is real, everyone will be safe. That world is past any point of redemption. Change is impossible. The royal magic was supposed to be the turning point, but it was all for nothing. In the end, people don't want their world to change. They just want someone to be a sponge for their infinite anxieties. That's all. You can't blame Luis for wanting to end that cycle. How could anyone accept that they lived in a world that miserable?
I understand. Yes. You're exactly right.
No! Open your eyes!
Indeed. In the end, fantasy and reality cannot intersect. The reprieve of a dream ends at the real world's borders, powerless to change it. You've done well. No one can blame you for choosing the truth. Then let's be on our way. There is no need to cling to the husk of a world that's already rotted away. All things must end in their due time.